Hello and welcome to the Free Cheese, episode 647. I'm your Joe Dix, joined by Matt Selner.
Hello.
The Free Cheese is a weekly video game podcast about video games, brought to you once a week by thefreecheese.com. This week, our topic of the week is Cooking Mama for the Nintendo DS. We play a game every week. We talk about our time spent with the game, provide a review, and then we rank it on the list, which you can find over at thefreecheese.com/the list. More on that later. Matt, I guess, when was the last time you were surprised at your ability to cook something? Where you looked at a recipe or you just wung it? Is wung the past tense of winged?
I feel like I
And
did
you were
something.
like, dang, that turned out good.
I um I know there's been stuff that I'm like, damn, I actually pulled this off. Um Last year, I'm gonna actually do it again this year. But last year for the Super Bowl, I went for it and I like legit fried wings, like got oil in a pot,
Oh, you did that.
cornstarch.
Oh.
I did cornstarch as well, not flour, on the
Yeah,
wings
yeah.
and fried them. And I tried making my own buffalo sauce and tossing.
I like that. Yeah.
I also had different sauces for whatever, like pre-made ones for barbecue or whatever. But yeah, I did that.
That's pretty good.
That was I it turned out better. It turned out pretty good for not really like. I just kind of looked at a recipe for like where should to oil the temperature be, roughly
Right, yeah,
how
like
long should a
ballpark.
wing be in there for. Um, but yeah, other than that, I was just kind of winging it.
Haha, I get it. I get it.
I didn't mean to.
Yeah. I did do the turkey last year for Thanksgiving. It turned out all right. I've gotten really good at a short rib ramen recipe that takes
Ooh.
like a long time, but it's like good like in a Dutch oven on the stove top. That always turns out really well. Um I don't know. Sometimes like the weird things you do, like I know this is like simple, but like a regular old tuna salad that you would make and like put on a sandwich, but I did it with truffle oil and jalapenos. So it had like a bit of that truffle and a bit of that spice. That was fun. Weird stuff like that.
Big pan
I'm
sauce
always good.
guy myself too. I'm making
A what guy?
pan sauces like
A
off the
pan. Oh
fond,
yeah, yeah,
off a chicken or a steak. Get some white
yeah.
wine or
That's
red
good stuff.
wine in there.
Cooking is so you like to. I think. I mean, I know that about you. You do like to cook. You're not like
Yeah, I don't mind it. Or I mean, there are
yeah,
definitely periods where I'm like way into it, or definitely times where I'm like, "Ah, I really don't feel like being in
yeah,
here. But
yeah.
yes,
Depending on the week, I'm like, can we just not do this? But yeah, I like cutting stuff up, doing all the prep. Like this game does align with what I enjoy doing when it comes to cooking, which was nice. This game being Cooking Mama, developed by Office Create Company Limited, published by Majesco in North America, Taito in Japan, and they kind of like co-published in America, I suppose. Released on the Nintendo DS on September 12th, 2006. Back of the box reads as follows. Oh, that's fun. I tried to make it bigger and it's not. There we go. Let's get cooking, mama. Now you can learn how to cook on your Nintendo DS, prepare foods, combine raw ingredients, cook the meal, and present your culinary masterpiece to mama for your final score. Create 76 real dishes or combine recipes to create more advanced meals. Use the stylus as your master kitchen tool to chop, slice, pan fry, knead, grate, mash, and more. Share recipes with up to 4 other people. Cool down hot food by blowing into the Nintendo DS microphone. There you go. Cooking Mama.
or the stovetop for some reason.
Right, yeah, yeah. That was a fun one. There's a couple weird mini. We'll talk about it. Yeah, there's a couple like things you do occasionally that are are fun inputs. Matt, you added Cooking Mama to the list. I think I asked you when we did our reveal last year to one another on what was going to be coming up for season 14, why Cooking Mama? But why Cooking Mama?
So I'm gonna stick with that keyword variety. Um, Again, I had a theme in mind. I pivoted off of it, not necessarily at the 11th hour, but maybe like the 10 to 10:30 hour. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and this is kind of remnants of that. But the like when I think of so I want to get more Nintendo DS because I own the thing. I want to use it a little bit more. So I was thinking about what Nintendo DS game to get on there. That's not a Mario. Like I don't need like the Nintendo proper game on there. And I don't know. Like when I think of DS, like yeah, I think sure Mario comes to mind, but I always think of like these types of games, like your Cooking Mamas, your Nintendogs, your Brain Ages, your like these little things that like they're very mini game like heavy kind of sorta. They make use of the top and bottom screen, especially like with the stylus on the bottom screen or touch controls, whatever. Um, and just this very casual, because I mean Nintendo grabbed that market quite well with the DS. It's kind of that
Yeah.
casual market or a casual experience where you're kind of picking up playing and you kind of put it down to 5 minutes. It could be a half an hour. You can go nuts, go for an hour. But yeah, this kind of like is when I hear the Nintendo DS, this is kind of what I think of, and so I had never played it, so I figured let's actually play it.
Yeah, it's very much, and I think this does a great job at taking advantage of not just the top and bottom screen stylus, but also the clamshell. Because of its like mini game approach where you can kind of jump in and out of these things, being able to pop your DS to sleep and throw it into a bag and keep rolling in between things and open it up when you've got a couple minutes to kill. I think this is a perfect game for that approach in gameplay. Do you remember when you first heard of Cooking Mama? Was it back
I was
in
probably
2006?
during the DS era. Don't, I like I don't remember which one it was or if I saw a review of this one, but I mean, obviously I didn't have a DS at the time, so I wasn't paying much attention to it.
Yeah.
But it was just one of those things I knew it existed, and kind of once you see, you understand what it is. But yeah, I'm gonna assume it was at release of one or two on the DS that I finally like heard of it.
Yeah. I remember by the time I'd gotten a DS, I don't know. This was a couple years. I think I got my first DS in 2008 or something. But I had known about it a bit. Where were you at with DS? You didn't have one, but what did you? I think we talked a bit about this in the um, Brain Age episode last year. But where were you? Did you like, ooh, this is for children,
I
or I
never
don't want the DS? Like, what was?
I never oohed this is for children, but it didn't have the games I wanted when I was looking at like the PSP and the Vita.
Sure, sure,
And
sure.
so, and I really didn't get either of those until well, the PSP. Obviously, we know that story. But I didn't get a
Yeah,
Vita
yeah.
until late in the cycle, and I just wasn't
Right,
really
because you got
playing.
the revision.
Yeah, and I just really wasn't getting um, portable hardware like that. Um, and so if I was gonna get one, it was gonna be a Vita. Um, yeah, I just never got around to getting a 2DS or 3DS until Nintendo put out a non 3DS that wasn't
Yeah.
a door wedge, and uh, and that's when I got my 2DS that I now own, which is actually right here. It's right. Oop, let me just
And you
drop it.
bought that post Switch, right?
Oh, yes. When the
I'm
Metroid
pretty
Samus
sure.
Return comes out, that's what I bought it for.
Post Switch, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think it was that E3, right? Because they
Probably.
announced Prime 4 during the presentation for
Yeah, and then
Switch.
right, it was
I
the
know.
Treehouse the next day. They were talking about Samus Returns. We're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, yeah. Like Reggie came out after. It wasn't even in the main direct. It was just like, oh yeah, we're doing this other thing. But um, Yeah, I this probably, in hindsight, I if I would have found this in like a bargain bin for $10, I might have like grabbed it at the time. Um, which is funny how my gaming tastes have changed because I probably would like grab something like this. Maybe not for full price, but if this was like even a $20 thing, I could grab real
Hmm.
quick and go. This is a fun little collection, I think. Um, yeah, I think let's dive into the gameplay. There's three main modes when you boot up the game and get to the main menu. There's Let's Cook, Let's Combine, and Use Skill. Um, Let's Cook is kind of the main mode of the game. This is where you have a couple of recipes to start with. As you go through and you master them, meaning you really don't make any mistakes during the preparation phase for each dish, you'll get a little award, and then you will unlock new dishes to make. Um, what does the back of the box say? 76 real dishes, right? So there's quite a bit to unlock. Um, let's combine the second mode lets you take recipes you've unlocked, you combine them, and you make new dishes or meals that you can kind of
Yeah,
like serve. Um, and then use skill is more like minigame practice, I guess. Is that how you describe it?
that's actually how I used it. Yeah, but it's all the like not obviously not every dish is going to have you chop something. So you
Right.
can, if you wanted to practice chopping or see how good you are at chopping, you can go to the skill thing, go find chopping, and just play it on repeat.
Yeah. Um, practice that, and then yeah, I mean the main thing of this, it's kind of that is it. Like what I just described is the game.
It
There is some multiplayer stuff that we didn't get to do, but I think it's literally just recipe sharing. I don't think you're doing competitive stuff, right?
Yeah, and sorry, no competitive stuff. But yeah, like that is it. Like it is pick your recipe, do the mini games. After you're done, you get scored, and you can redo it if you didn't 3-star it, or can move on to the next one.
Keep rolling, yeah, and keep going. Like you'll unlock stuff. It does have a bit of that sort of. I know I could have done that better when you do
Oh,
screw something up. Like, so you are like, because you don't get you have to get every mini game, you have to get perfect to get like the full gold, right? Or at least as close to perfect as possible.
it's
You,
all perfects. I think it's all perfects.
I think so too. I feel like there was one where like I made just the tiniest mistake on one and I got silver. But so there's that incentive, like just kind of inherently that like, yeah, I should replay these and try them again. I want to get perfect. Um, for me, I primarily did the Let's Cook mode, just like going through the recipes and
That's what I
trying to
did.
better my scores. I tried Let's Combine a few times just to see, but I didn't really stick with it.
I think I did that once.
Um, yeah, and then yeah, the use skill is good for practice because there are a couple mini games where it's like there's a couple mini games where you don't, like you said, you don't get to do them often, but also when you do them, I will say some of the instructions are at times obtuse. Did you find that?
Not. I mean, not nearly as bad as Incredible Crisis,
No, 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 no. Coming off of that,
but yeah, some of that, or like they leave out like a detail that's helpful. Like you get the
yeah,
principle of how to do it, but how to perfect it, they miss a sentence or a statement.
yeah. It's only until you can kind of practice a few times or do some of them that it really
But to its
clicks.
credit, the exact thing I said about Incredible Crisis not having like a practice thing or whatever, this
It
game
does.
does have a practice
Yeah,
before the actual step in the recipe.
yeah. You can jump in, play around, and see
So
what it is before you
I'd
start,
be
a la
remiss.
Mario Party.
I would have been remiss to not point that out after the big deal I made about it
Yeah.
during Incredible Crisis.
Controls, you are using the stylus. There's no other method. How do you feel the stylus works for all of these different inputs? Is it as versatile as
Yeah, I
you'd
mean, it
hope?
makes sense. I feel like sometimes some of my swipes just don't register But I think
Yeah.
that's maybe more me, or like the game wasn't ready for my action yet or something like that.
I had that too, and I was playing on a DSi that's kind of old, so I was thinking that it was maybe something with touchscreen, but you're playing on much newer hardware.
Yeah,
So
like I said, it wasn't anything that really threw me out of the experience, but sometimes it was a difference between like that perfect or like the one under. Do they do grading in
yeah,
each? I can't. I'm mixing up all my games. Do they grade each step and then you get 3 stars or?
yes, each
Okay.
one you get I've got video of it running just for
Okay.
reference, but like you get like a very good or failed
That's
or whatever,
okay.
like each step along the way, and it'll be different color medals, things like that. Um, I do think, yeah, like the stylus, you wouldn't think it necessarily, but being able to use it to like chop quickly or slice or tenderize meat or like, I don't know, turn up a burner or down a burner, things like that are always like, it was intuitive enough. Like you didn't need to do anything fancy with buttons. It just kind of worked.
I played like I probably the 90% of my playing this game was in the living room while Victoria had something on TV, and I got hard side eyes. I feel like from time to time when I was chopping a veggie,
Oh,
just being real fucking loud and annoying.
because yeah,
Da, da, da,
you
da, da.
gotta really tap to make it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you think Cooking Mama is difficult?
I think it can be. I think I like. I don't think the mini games are hard, but the perfection of it, and sometimes how like you gotta like handle what the game's throwing at you, and the way it wants the game to be played a little bit. There is a little
Yeah.
bit of give and take there. Like cutting is one of the mini games that I found to be the hardest, and I actually
Cutting or chopping?
cutting the sawing
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
action.
Yes,
So
yes, I
I was
agree.
sawing something, cutting, and like it just was not cut. I had no idea what I was doing wrong. I went to the Reddit. I went to the Cooking Mama
Oh my,
subreddit.
there's a Cooking Mama. Okay,
Are you shocked?
a little bit. Like I know there's something for every single thing, but like, what do you do in the Cooking Mama?
Well, you
Go
talk
ahead.
about how difficult cutting is, and the
I
tips and
guess so.
tricks for that mini game. And I used your little tricks, and I kind of once I like gave into the game a little bit and kind of like
Hmm.
altered their instructions some, I was doing
So
better.
the instruction is an
Go
up and
up and
down
down.
arrow,
Yep.
and there's
Across
no
the screen.
emphasis on. Yeah, it's right where you're supposed to go. It's not indicating you like should go up first and then down, or you should do a slow or a fast. So what's your pro tip then?
Pro tip is grab by the handle and go up and down quickly at the handle,
Oh,
as if you're holding it.
interesting. I just let myself fail that one as much as.
No, oh, no, because I was pissed because it was the only thing letting me from 3 star in a recipe.
Yeah, I wasn't doing great
So
on
I was
those,
like,
but
no, there's got to be like I'm not alone. I wasn't. The Cooking Mama community came to the rescue for me.
yeah, I love that a lot. Um, were there any recipes that you wanted to bring outside of the game, or maybe already brought outside of the game?
It's funny. I think I unlocked the meatballs on a day. I made meatballs earlier in the
That's stupid.
day, so that kind of
Yeah,
came to fruition. It was a little
that's
weird
funny.
thing. Nothing that it brought. I've like looked up after the fact. There's been a couple dishes just from because it's Japanese publisher, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
originally.
like obviously we're getting some Asian cuisine that it just if you don't seek it, you don't really see, I guess. There was
Yeah,
some of that intrigued me, but I want to say like I think that's where Cooking Mama. I think that's where it. I think that's where like if it may inspire you, but it's not going to actually like get you there.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, no, you can't just like look at this, play it, and walk
yeah,
out and be like, "Got it. I'm gonna be making whatever."
yeah. I mean, like I said, the steps are there for the stuff I know how to make. Like it's like, all right, yeah, like simmer and pot control and the temperature of the pan. Chop like dicing an onion. Like, yep, got it. Like the way you slice an onion. Like Yep, got it. But yeah, it's just like some of the stuff is just not all the way there. But I think it's a good for like someone young that wants to get into it, or someone that
Oh yeah, yeah,
it's like very casually, like never in a kitchen, but starts to play this game and can see like, oh, like oh, that's kind of how you cut an onion. Like I don't like some. There's some things like cutting an
yeah.
onion. It's a big turn, I think, for some people, just because it if you not, don't cut it right, you cry to death. Um, like this kind of teaches you a method, not the method I would use, but like a method to
A
how to
method, yeah.
handle an onion. Um, and you get other things like that. Like I've never wrapped a dumpling before, but I think I have a better idea of how to wrap a dumpling.
At least, yeah, like
Yeah,
have an approach to it. Yeah, yeah. There's like for me, the one thing that's always so elusive to me is baking, and you don't really get like baking in this,
it's because
but
bacon's a science. It's not cooking.
uh, my mistake. Do we not do baking in sequels?
I don't know, but this guy cooks. He doesn't bake.
We'll have to look up baking mama. Um, but like that's one where like in terms of approach, like if someone could show me like here's how you approach, because baking's always like to your point, like there's so many little things that need to be perfect with it that it's hard to pull off.
Yeah, no. If
Um,
I throw an extra teaspoon of pepper into a dish, I know I didn't ruin it.
yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah, if I
fine.
throw an
Yeah,
extra a half a tablespoon or a half a teaspoon of baking powder into something, it's fucked.
you're destroyed. Yep, doesn't rise right, doesn't whatever. Yeah, like I just did uh, simultaneous with playing this. I mean, the recipe wasn't necessarily from this, but I had done for lunch for a couple of weeks. I had been actually for a lot longer than that. I was doing. I'd basically take a dozen of eggs and I'd hard boil them and then put them in a plastic container where I fill like enough to like cover like half of it with soy sauce and then
Oh, yeah, 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 okay.
do like honey and chives and
Oh, check that out.
some rice vinegar. And then I at one point like I was cutting up peppers and stuff like that to just like put it in there and let them soak. And you basically just let them sit in there all week and pull out a couple and have them with rice for lunch. Easy to like set up in an hour or so when you're on the weekend you've got a meal prepped. But to your point, there was one week where I didn't have peppers, or the store didn't have the peppers I wanted. So I was like, let's just dump cayenne in there, give it a little bit of a kick. And I like was tapping it out of the spice jar and it just like spit this whole bit out. And I was like, it'll be fine. It'll be a little extra. And they were like a little tang extra spicy, but not the end of the world. But had I done that with baking, game over. Um, this did like I've not been on the down that we talked about, the downtrend of cooking. I've been okay, but this did like keep the flame going, I should say. It didn't drive me away. I you know and I think had I not had it, it would have reignited like, oh yeah, I want to make this, I want to make that.
Yeah. No.
Outside of yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, like, yeah, that's exactly what I think what this game is. Just like, oh, here's an idea of how to make it. This is generally how to make it.
And it's really just a bunch of dumb little mini
Yeah.
games you do with the stylus in a fun way. And then occasionally, like, the one my favorite was the rice cooker. Whenever you had to make rice, it was like you needed to set the timer for it, so
Oh,
they like had to put it in. Like, if you haven't played Cooking Mama or seen it, like every step of these, it's like, okay, you're gonna do this now. We're gonna prepare the timer. Are you ready? Get ready. Go. And the timer starts ticking down, and you've got to do this very like serious action for so many like number
yeah.
of times. And then when you get to the rice cooker, it's like set the rice timer, and it's like 3-0 start. Like perfect. Love that a lot. Um, Visuals. How would you describe the art direction of the game?
I don't know. I like it though.
Yeah,
I
it's good.
I I like the I like the art on the food. I like the dumb little like
Yeah,
decorative stuff you can do with your finishing the plate as you're
that's
plating.
really nice. Yeah.
I will say I did draw one penis on a plate, just one, and that was it.
Wow. Just one, got it
Just
done out of your
one. Just
system.
got yep.
Give a man a stylus. He can only do one thing with it.
um,
Uh,
yeah. I mean, I don't like. But how to describe it? I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. I don't.
it's it's cartoon adjacent, but I guess, knowing that it comes from like a Japanese origin, I guess it's kind of like manga adjacent. It's got a little bit of like
Yeah.
you know, I don't know. I don't know how else to describe it. But yeah,
But,
it's
but everything's very bright. It's like not
bright, clean.
very in the and
I,
going into audio a little bit like just uplifting, cheery, nothing. Like,
yeah.
I think the only negative sounds if you fail something is like a don on don, and then
And it's not even like a bad failure sound, yeah.
and then
But to
like
your point too, everything's readable. Like
yeah,
I get the pizza game pulled up right now. Like I can tell it's a pizza, and when you're cutting up the pepperoni, you can tell it's pepperoni. There's all those things. Very rarely is there a moment where you're like, "What is that?" I have no
even
idea
from the
what's
main
happening.
menu screen because it's on the bottom part. I guess it's on like the bottom part of the bottom screen is the selection for the recipes, and it's in like 3 rows, and it's just like a little like icon, like it's almost like the size of an emoji almost.
Yeah,
Selecting the recipes, but you can pretty much tell from that like what you're making for the
right.
most
Yeah,
part.
yeah. This is
I
gonna be a
mean,
shrimp dish. This is gonna be a whatever.
there's some tougher ones to probably tell, like spaghetti and Neapolitan versus seafood spaghetti, but like
Sure, sure, sure.
you
You
see a
know generally
spaghetti.
that's gonna be spaghetti. Yeah. You mentioned sound a little bit, like with bright, cheery, but yeah, I think there's good, like you get used to the sound cues to understand, like you have you build a
Yeah,
natural response to
that's a
what's
good
happening in the
point.
game, where you know if you did well or poorly or whatever. You know when the round is starting or when it's ended. It's very like succinct. You get very used to those quickly. There's like this little like honky tonk kind of music that plays in between things, like in the like it's got a little like I don't know. I like it. Um yeah, anything in your notes that we didn't hit? I know this we're like getting close to being through talking about Cooking Mama in such a short time, but it's a
I
straightforward game.
I died. Sorry, no, I didn't die. I laughed initially when I saw
Yes.
instant ramen pop up as a recipe. And then, as someone that does love a good instant ramen, I did it. And then I died at the dumb process of just pouring water and turning on the heat, and it was done.
That's it. That's all you gotta do. But again, it's the presentation of it where it's like the whole everything you've done up to that point, you're expecting like, okay, there's gonna be all these steps. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. What are they gonna do with this one? It's like you
What else can you do with a couple noodles?
just do it. Yeah. You
Pour
could
it in.
do there's people that do the like, let me put an egg in it, let me do the whatever. Yeah.
The was it Promptus? Prompto?
Oh,
Final Fantasy 15 brought to you by Cup of Noodles.
dude. Uh Prompto's one of them. He's the blonde one, but the one that was cooking was Ignis. Man, I really want to play 15 again. I've been craving it. I know.
I would point you to 16 if I hadn't.
Can you cook?
No.
See? See? You drive in a car and listen to music from Final Fantasy, any of them.
No, you
Absolutely.
can't. I can confidently say you can't.
Is there a game in the game that the people play on their cell phones that you could also at one point download on your cell phone and play in real life? No.
No.
I also never did all the DLC for that game. I got a lot more Final Fantasy 15.
Is there an open zone? It's not open world. That's not as nearly as empty, and you can get the point A to point B in a way where you don't have to listen to half a soundtrack of a Final Fantasy game.
Oh man, but where's the fun in that? I still got to get the trophy for walking whatever it is, like 600 miles or something.
Jesus.
They beat Kojima to it. Um, what else do I have here? Yeah, I mean, I just in my notes like I unlocking new recipes is fun. Like you feel like, oh, cool, like, I'm gonna try this one. There's some things that are kind of tough, but the more you practice them, the more you get it and you understand kind of what the game wants from you. Um, I think there's like yeah, a good sense of humor, but also like it's just a fun kind of pleasing thing. My review that will be written on the website, I compare this to kind of an evolution of what we got in Flash games, where you're just sort of like it's everyday things that are like gamified, just in terms of like something to poke at for a couple of minutes and move on. It doesn't overstay. It doesn't like do anything poorly. It just works.
It's I think well I want to go back to what you said, like, you got to practice some of the mini games to perfect. I mean, that's just cooking in general. Like, no one's a
Sure, sure.
chef
Yeah, it mirrors
overnight.
that.
Like, you got to practice and you're going to fail. So I mean, I think in a nutshell it kind of mimics the cooking experience in a very the expedited way. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
um but then what you say at the end that I was gonna what you,
Flash game.
oh, the outsaying
Uh,
is welcome. But it's like one of those games where like it's not like you put it down because it's like repetitive and it has outside. Like, you just put it down because you've
yeah.
had your fill for it, but you can easily pick this like
Yeah.
not that I think I'm gonna be playing this like every month, but now that's
No,
now
but
that I got it, like, I might pick it up and
why not?
throw in a recipe. And when I find something new that I made and I see how I fucked it up or it turned out all right, I might see how the mama kind of did it and see if I can pick up any tips.
I agree. It's equivalent to me to like a kart racing game where like I can jump in and do a race and then not play that game for a year and a half. Or I could spend a weekend doing nothing but playing that kart racing game. Like I could do the same thing with this. Like I could just sit and play this for a while. I could also not touch it for 5 years and come back and be just, have just as much fun. But yeah, I think I like it a lot. Who would you recommend this to?
I obviously like your more casual audience. But like I think anyone that enjoys like the DS, I think this is one of those like staple DS games, and I still
I
think that
agree.
after playing it. So I would say like almost any owner wish there were a lot of DS owners. I feel like any DS owner, this should probably be in their library in some way.
What would have made this more enjoyable for you?
Some type of campaign. Like doesn't have, I say campaign, that could be loosely, but just something besides just like, oh, that's the new recipe. You go into the next one. I guess to an
Yeah.
extent it leaves the game so pick up and put down, like in a good way. Um, but like after you kind of you kind of do 35 of the 70 whatever recipes you said, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
like if I want to finish this game, I just gotta do this 40 more times. Um,
Yeah.
not there's like I said, I don't think it really needs it, but I think that would have been more of like a driving push for me to
I agree. Like
like
if you could
go.
like build a menu or something like as the campaign, like
Yeah, like let me
I
build
don't
up
know.
the kitchen, like something stupid. Like
Yeah.
I made a recipe, or the recipe comes out, I made it well enough. Someone paid $15 for it. I use that $15 to buy a piece of equipment for the kitchen that unlocks the skill that unlocks the recipes or something like that.
Yeah. There's a actually now that I'm thinking I'm just spitballing here. There's another game on DS I've played a bit of. Hold on. I have it written down. I think it's called Conveni Dream.
Okay.
Um but it's like a convenience store management sim. And it's just like I don't know. You just you organize like where you're putting the bread thing or the drink machine, and you're choosing what goes in them, and you're just sort of like optimizing, like you're letting people go in and out. It's just like a sim game, but you're running a convenience store. And with like cooking mama, I with to your point, like if you could get to a point where you're like taking the money and you like get to upgrade little things and like have a little like top down view of a kitchen, you're like, let me upgrade this so we can have more customers come in and make more of this, and you get tickets or something like that. I'm curious to see what they've done in like later
Yeah, it's like I
iterations
don't
of
want to do the
cooking.
ticket thing like Overcooked. Because
Don't go crazy. All right.
I don't want to because I don't want to lose the like the it's casual the take your time with the steps, do it when you're ready. Like, I don't want to
Yeah,
lose
that's
that
fair.
essence. And we're saying this like there hasn't been like 18,000 sequels to this game, but
Yeah, I know.
um, not knowing what they are, I would like to see them keep that formula, but just have the 3 stars mean something a little bit more.
I get that. I get that. Um, did I have any other? No, that was it. I was pulling up the DS numbers because you mentioned a lot of people have DSs. It is still the number two best selling platform, sitting at 154.02 million units. So there's a lot of DSs out there. I will also say though, Switch, as of what's on this Wikipedia page, 154.01. So the Switch should, unfortunately, cheatingly, I'll add,
Oh, they all
because I
cheat
don't love
now.
that.
They all cheat
I
now.
know, I hate it so much. Like, to me, the Switch, you got to cut that number in half. You got to like come look at
You
the
can do like
Wii
40,
plus
40,
the
20.
DS. Yeah, you're not wrong. You had multiple SKUs,
I own
like
two
of the main
Switches.
unit, the
The
handheld. Yeah,
household, the
like
household owns 3.
right. There's that for sure. And yeah, you combine DS with Wii, you're at like 251. So Switch, you got a long way to go to catch up. Anyway,
Yeah.
we're getting
So
sidetracked.
what's that say about Xbox?
Yeah, Switch 2's almost outsold the Xbox Series. Maybe not quite yet. We're getting there though. It's getting there.
That's easy.
Yeah, I know. Let's rank this thing again. If you've not listened to the podcast before, thefreecheese.com/the list is where you can view all of our rankings, or if you're watching the video version, you can see it on the screen right now. Every week we bring a number to the table. I went what feels low, but I feel like, this year so far we've been using the height of the list effectively. So I might be low. I'm happy to move. I've got this as the new 132, below Pac-Man and above the darkness. What say you?
You say 132 between what?
Between
Oh, never mind.
below
Oh, why did
Pac-Man?
I not refresh? That looked weird. Never mind. Sorry. Between Pac-Man 1
All
and the
good.
darkness. Got it.
Yep.
132. So I'm actually right around you. I am a touch lower though. I went the
Oh.
new 139 between Super Off-Road and Nightmare.
Hmm. I could I could meet you there.
We can go in the middle somewhere. I yeah, I just I don't know. I think I was looking at Super Off-Road. I'm like, "Oh, I could just play that for hours." I feel like
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
um I like I said, I think my main thing with this is like it kind of is what it is. Like it's a good package, but like there's not a lot of depth to it once you
Yeah, I
go
use the
through
word
it.
shallow in my review for a reason. Like
Um,
it's
yeah. So, um,
not
I just
bad. just
Like it can be. I mean, this is just one of those games where like it could be a 10 out of 10 in what it does, but it doesn't necessarily like it's not really enhancing gaming in some transcending way.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
no, I mean, I think I like Blood Rain better, despite it being a little messy at times.
yeah. I get that.
Um, but this is
I
more.
think
I can
yeah.
go
Go ahead.
135 where Uninvited and Blood Rain is.
I
Kind
think
of.
that makes sense because it like I love Krusty Super Fun House, but Krusty Super Fun House does outstay its welcome after a bit. Like that kind of gets monotonous despite it
Yeah.
kind of
I
changing.
think they all do once you go down from Uninvited.
Sure, sure.
Krusty does it,
Yeah,
Super Strike Eagle does it, Super Off Road does it, Nightmare does it.
yeah.
Um,
All right, so this is the best of the
Probably.
monotony.
Yeah.
Cooking Mama, the new 135. We did it. 170 games in the list. By God, Matt, we're gonna break 200 this year. Did you know that?
I did. Or do.
I didn't realize it, but it's coming. It's coming. Just like next week, where we talk the Warriors. Another Rockstar game joins the list. Stay tuned for that. And play Cooking Mama. Get your DS out. Celebrate the DS. I will say, like, looking back now, like, compared to Brain Age, where does this kind of. Obviously, we ranked Brain Age a little bit higher on the list, but, like, in terms of DS Essentials, do you still feel that way after playing it?
What, for Cooking Mama?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And DS itself, like, do you feel like you're starting to get you're getting
Yeah.
to ride the
There.
wave a bit?
There's a library that's I mean, there's just so much on it. First of all, like there is a library out there for me. I still don't. I think like the like a PSP and Vita library is more appealing, but like I don't mind trying stuff out on the DS to see if it grabs me or not. Because for me putting it on the list, this actually did grab my attention for a lot longer than I thought it was going to.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. There's a couple of series I think you would get into if you had time. Like I think you could really like Etrian Odyssey,
Oh
knowing your I know. Have you seen those?
yeah.
But like I feel like you're just there's something in your brain waiting on the dungeon crawler to click, but when it does, I feel like you could get way into that whole series.
I know.
We'll see. But yeah, what I'm trying to think of other like DS stuff like that. We got another DS thing coming up in the summer, so stay tuned for that. But that one will be fun. I think that's it for now. We still have some holes in the schedule, so we could always find some DS stuff to plug in there. But um, next week we're gonna plug it in with a PSP game that we didn't play on PSP because it came out on PlayStation 2 first. The Warriors. Come back for that for 648 and all of our episodes over on thefreecheese.com. Until then, thank you, Matt. Thank you all for hanging out with us. We'll see you next time. Bye.